Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, August 23rd. Looking at the impact map, smoke from the California and Oregon fire spreading north and east across the central portion of the Great Basin, becoming a bit more widespread Tuesday and Wednesday. Some isolated showers exiting to the east, otherwise no significant issues other than a general warming and drying trend for at least the southern half of the area. Here's a look at our smoke forecast for this afternoon at the surface on the left, for tomorrow afternoon as some of the fires build up from Southern California on the right. Vertically integrated smoke from the surface up past 6,000 feet above ground level. You can see the swath both this afternoon on the left and tomorrow afternoon on the right. Did have a little bit of lightning yesterday here on the right across eastern Idaho, western Wyoming. Did have some light rainfall with it, but fuels there, as you'll see, quite moist. Initial attack was light today. Looking at the precipitation the past 7 days, quite wet, basically just east of the Nevada border into the eastern and far northern portion of Great Basin. You can see the percentages of normal, 600% of normal precipitation for the week, but you can see how much drier it is, near 0% of normal across the western Great Basin. Now, looking at the last month, the last 30 days, you can see that significant precipitation basically extends to the Idaho western border and into central Nevada, where they had widespread wetting rains, and that's why our ERCs reflect that, where the eastern half is totally below the 50th percentile, and it starts gradually drying out as you head further west, but still not really critical until you get to the far western portions of Nevada. Satellite imagery, a little grainy on some of the images, but you can see the deep low pressure area just north of the Pacific Northwest. Stronger winds with this tighter gradient, although feels quite moist, but we will see some breezes drying things out. Temperatures a little cooler than normal. We're not under high pressure. We're actually closer to the low. So on the left, we have drier air pushing in of a tropical system way down to the south. Dry air coming in. You can see the 7-day where we're critically dry, and the further east and north you go, the more we've really moistened up. Now, the humidity is quite dry across Nevada, single digits to low teens, also across western Utah, but then getting into the 20s or above the further east you go. And the wind, you can see here in the orange, 20 to 30 mile an hour winds, and even a little bit breezier in eastern Idaho, but of course, fuels are moister, as you can see, and that continues tomorrow in most areas in the green. Critically dry in the west, and you can see that southwest drier flow near seasonable temperatures. A little trough of pressure forming up here. Again, dry humidities across the west, starting to push a bit more eastwards. Almost everyone gets a good drying trend. Moderate breezes across central and southern Nevada. Fuels were critically dry. Could be worthy of a high-risk area, but that is not the case. Trough of low pressure deepens, cooler air coming in, maybe even some sprinkles or light showers across the far north and the far east areas. Winds will be increasing, but you can see only a small sliver critically dry, and the strongest winds, and these could be 30 to 40 mile an hour winds across the eastern Great Basin and parts of Idaho and Wyoming, where humidity still be above 15-20%, and the fuel's quite moist from the recent rains. Very little precipitation except for the far eastern northern areas the next 3 days. Quickly down the road for Thursday, northwest flow drier, but not necessarily hot. We stay in that zonal flow through the end of the week. Another trough of low pressure comes into northern Idaho that will dry out significantly across Nevada, right to the Utah border. But that's where the process really slows down. We see the yellows further north and east, not just because of so much rain that's fallen in the last 7 days and the last 30 days. Now it's kind of the demarcation line, but you can see drier air. So even southwest Idaho starts to dry out. 7-day precip totals, we'll be watching the monsoonal moisture starting to push a little northwards. The 8 to 14 day, a little indescript, cooler than normal to the north, warmer than normal to the south. This indicates some passages of cold fronts, maybe some drier, windier conditions across the south. Near normal, precipitation slightly drier across the west. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.